Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to True Telos Trading. Today is September 19th, 2025. Today we traded two different stocks. None of them were A plus quality. The first one that we traded was actually a 9 on the True Telos Trading Rating Scale, but we did not have any conviction in that stock when we traded it, which led to a loss. The second one was a revenge trade on the stock after taking the loss from the first one. Let's go ahead and get into those stocks to see how we traded them today. The first stock we traded today the ticker was AGMH. Again, today is the 19th of September, 2025. The stock didn't have breaking news. It actually had news yesterday. So I was looking at this stock yesterday in the after hour. It had reached an all-time high according to my True Telos Trading Rating Scale, where it surpassed the point where it hadn't been since 2022, or it hadn't gotten this high of a price since 2022. So I'm already speaking ahead of time. So all-time highs. Yes, down here. It had news yesterday. So this will be a 1 here. The float was below 10 million shares. As a matter of fact, it only had 3 million. This will be a 2 here. It was well above the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average was about $1.28 when I bought this stock. We bought it near $7. So this will be a 2 here. It was up over 100% on the day, close to maybe like 150, 160. This would be a 1 here. Like you said, when we bought the stock, it was $7.23 when we bought it. So this will be a 1 here since it's below 10. And it was a number one stock in the market when we bought it. This will be a 1 here. If we add all these together, this gives us a score of 9. And according to our True Telos Trading Rating Scale, a score of 9 makes this an A quality stock. We haven't had an A quality stock since we stopped, since we changed the scale to match the hot market, where we put the 8 all the way down. So, this had me just a little bit confused on how we should go about trading the stock. This led to me not having a lot of conviction, but I do have to make the promise to myself: if I do go ahead and trade, if I do get into the stock, or if I am thinking about trading, I do have to have that conviction. If I'm looking at the stock, I have to have conviction if I'm looking to trade it. But it's always those doubts that come into your head when you're doing these types of things, especially if you are going by a complete set of rules and you're wondering, if you should break those to try to capitalize on some price movement that you see. No, sometimes it works out well for you, but and you're thinking you could do it again, kind of like what I have been doing, waking up at 3 a.m. trading those stocks that don't match the True Telos Trading Rating Scale, and then coming back here trading these stocks where some of them don't, but I see the momentum in the stock and I'm wondering if I should get in. So it's going to be me learning to stick to my rules and actually coming up with a set of rules for that AM and actually sticking to those as well. So it's going to be a learning process for us all. But this is the first stock that we traded. Let's get into the second stock that we traded this morning. The second stock we traded, the stock that we did the revenge trade on, the ticker was CJET. Again, the same date, the 19th of September. The stock had news this morning. This would be a 3 here. The stock's float was well over 10 million. As a matter of fact, it was well over 20 million. The stock had a 26, close to 27 million share float. So this will be a -1. The stock was trading below the 200 moving average. This will be a 0. The stock was up close to probably 60 to 70%. This will be a one here. It was a penny stock. It was actually below 20 cents when we bought it. So this would be a one. It was like the number two or number three stock in the market when we bought it this morning. This will be a one. It did not reach any all-time highs. This will be a zero. If we add all of these together, this gives us a score of 5. And as we clearly see down here on the True Telos trading grading scale, a score of a 5 is an F quality stock. So we traded in F quality stock. We disregarded a lot. Well, I don't want to say a lot, all of our rules when it came to it. This was purely off of emotion. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get into the charts. So let's go ahead and get into the chart to see how we traded these stocks today. This is the stock we traded first this morning, ticker AGMH. Let's go back to yesterday so we can see what we saw in this stock yesterday. So we saw it popping up here in this area. It had news, but we saw it popping up about like 5 to 5:15ish. I put these spots on this stock just to mark off the next resistance points. So we saw it pop up here. I was hoping it didn't get past this point so I could trade it tomorrow. Today, which is the 19th. I looked at this in the 18th. I was hoping that it didn't get past this resistance point here so I could trade this big move if it did this big move the next day, which is today. But after it made this big move, I kind of took this stock out of play. I took it out of play because, it got almost close to this next resistance point, but it still did not hit it. Yesterday, this was I do believe it was an 11 because it had reached all-time highs. Let me take you to the daily. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see pretty good. It's moving super slow. So if I have you look at the daily on where it is right now, this would be the high of day, that 493. Let me get that up there. Or this would be the all-time high, that 493. If we go all the way back here, it hasn't been higher than 493 or gotten anywhere near that since 2022. So this would count as the all-time high according to my True Telos trading grading scale. So after it beat that high of day at 493 or 492, let me go back to this minute chart. It beat that high of day here in this area and began to surge higher. These were all-time highs according to this new calendar year. So it was yesterday. I trade in the cash account, so I can't trade with any more buying power than what I already did for the day, and I had already traded with all of the buying power that I had on the day. So there was nothing that I can do, and I normally never trade in after hours session at all. So again, I marked all of these resistance points for this stock to continue that move higher for the next morning. Here's where we traded it this morning. As you can see, I bought all the way up here. I'll go to the order window. The order window is going to be very surprising for us. So I bought all the way up here. Why did I buy all the way up here? Well, if you remember, when we put this stock into the True Telos trading grading scale, it scored a 9 on it, which is an A quality trade. While it is an A quality trade, I do remember having the conviction to stick to those A plus quality trades, those trades that meet that 10. But since we did change the scale to where that 8 is now a C, or the 8 is now a B, and that 9 is the A. So we probably should have a little bit more conviction in trading these stocks that are a 9 that are still A quality, because that scale has changed. We are upping the quality of the stocks that we are getting into. So we might just have to stick to that 9, 10, and S, or 9, 10, and 11. So A plus, and S. This was a really good stock to trade, but unfortunately, we did not have conviction and we traded it super late, trading the backside of the move. So we saw it popping up here. It had reached the high of $6 and it had like a 5-6 minute pullback here. I saw MACD opening up here, but this was a spot where I didn't want to get into it just because of yesterday. It didn't reach that all-time that new resistance point that it had up here from back in 2022. It didn't reach it at all. So I wanted it to surpass that point and hold past that point with some conviction to get to this next resistance point up here at 801. So what I did after I saw it surpass this resistance point and then it pulled back past it, pull back down past it. I was a little bit anxious to get in this. I saw it come back up here, and then it started to pull away very fast. I pressed the buy button. When I bought this stock, be ready to be shocked by this order window. When I bought this stock, I bought it at $7.23. So $7.23. And then I sold it 3 minutes later for a loss. I traded the backside of the move here, which is something that I normally don't want to. Well, not normally, something that I never want to do. I don't short stocks. I only long them because we're in a cash account. We don't have the ability to short anything. So all of my strategies are based off of buying the stock for the move higher. I should have had more conviction down here, but then again, like we said, I'm not used to trading stocks that are just like that 9 quality. This is something that's new to the scale, and we are trying to we're trying to make this scale match this hot market so that we can optimize our not our profits, just making sure that we don't risk a lot on the account. So we're trying to mitigate risk and maximize profits on the account. Just a little bit of conviction that I did not have. So I bought the front side of this move, and then or about the back side of this move, and I had to sell this for a loss. On this one, we lost about $77. We didn't hold this trade past that rejection from that high. It didn't get anywhere near where we wanted it to. It actually did over here closer to like an hour later, but since we had already made that trade, there was nothing that we can do nothing that we can do right there on that day. Let's go ahead and get into that second trade to see how we did, how we revenge traded here. I'll show you this order window again, which is absolutely crazy. Let's get into this second stock that we traded here. This is the second stock that we traded on the day. As you can see, it is a penny stock. It is a penny stock. And it was an F on our True Telos trading grading scale. Just after I took that loss on that trade, I didn't feel well at all. Not having conviction in my scale and in my strategy, and not getting a whole lot of sleep because we've been waking up really, really early for these last few days, on top of working a regular job and trying to live a regular life. It's just something that we will have to work and deal with. I don't think that waking up that early a lot of days out of the week is going to help us when it comes to being mentally stable and trying to capitalize on these movements when we do see them. But I digress. Let's go ahead and keep moving with this trade. So when I got into the stock, I saw that it had news, and I saw that it was moving up, and I saw that it was pretty cheap. And it's something that because I didn't have the buying power that I would normally have, I wouldn't be taking any super big risk in trading it. It's kind of a flawed way of thinking, especially after taking a loss. It's very much a revenge trade way of thinking. But this is how we got into this stock. We saw it moving up off of this news. I saw MACD separating from this stock. I'll take you back to the order window. So I bought it on the move up here. I bought it twice as it was moving up. Let's see where I bought it at. The first buy, I bought with the rest. I tried to buy with the rest of my buying power here. It was at 16 or 0.1674 cent. We could just go with the number 16. Tried to buy it at 16 cent. Let me take you to this window here because this one is actually more crazy. The stock was moving on pretty good volume. I tried to buy and sell my position several times when I was in this stock, but each time that I tried here, as you can see, I would try to buy. I tried to buy it super low, like at well, buy it at 16 cent. I got a failed. I um tried to sell some of my position for, was it for a gain? It failed. I tried to buy some more of the stock. It failed. When I tried to sell the entire position, when I tried to sell everything, it kept on saying failed, 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 failed. So it was a little bit frustrating. In retrospect, I shouldn't even have been in this trade to begin with, because it is revenge trade on an F quality stock. I just saw the momentum in the news, or the news, and then the momentum from the news, and tried to get into it. But it was it was a fail nonetheless. It wasn't a negative trade. This trade, we came out like positive, like a little bit, $20, but we are still red on the day, about $55. It's a very small red day, and something I can deal with. We are still positive on the week, tremendously, so I'm very happy about that. But we actually just need to have more conviction in these trades that we are taking, and having crazy days like this where, we're tired. We wake up in the morning at 3 o'clock, we don't see anything happen, we go back to bed for about an hour and a half, and we wake back up to trade the normal hours, and um the trade is a wash because we didn't have conviction. But it was actually a really good stock that we were looking at. Again, this one right here, really good stock, really good move that we didn't capitalize on, and then just getting frustrated and trading something that didn't even match the scale to begin with. Just something that we really, really need to avoid if we want to mitigate that risk on the account. This could have been a very bad day if if we were trading something with a little bit more size that actually was an F quality, and it spiked all the way down on us, because we've seen those moves happen where the stock can go from 100 to zero very, very quickly, especially if it's not a high quality stock. Um, so yeah, those are our lessons that we kind of learned from this today. We definitely need to be getting our sleep, because we can't trade without a clear mind, without being able to focus on what we are doing. And we can't trade without having conviction in the trades that we are taking, based off of whatever rules that we have for ourselves. So I'm going to take those things and I'm going to put them into this next week. If I trade early in the morning, I probably shouldn't trade in the afternoon. So yeah, just keep. I'm just going to keep learning. I'm going to keep focusing on following my strategy to the T, and actually not being emotional when we have those losses, and just taking care of myself in the best way possible. I hope you enjoy listening to this recap of my trades, and welcome to True Telos Trading. This journey is not an easy one. It's actually pretty hard when we sit down and look at it, because we are working a 9 to 5 job. We are getting up super early in the morning to try to capitalize on the price movements that we see in the market. We are trying to deal with the emotions of having those super bad days and even super good days, and trying to move on with our day and be productive. It's something that we have to do to take care of ourselves, because that's the epitome of actually trading. We can't do anything in the market without having a sound mind and sound body. So that's what we're going to do from here on. If we trade in the morning at 3 a.m., we won't be trading in the afternoon time, because we need our rest to get through with our day. If we trade in the afternoon time, we won't be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So just actually learning and taking those things that we learned and moving it to the next day and the next day and the next day. And that's how we make progress. We learn from our mistakes. We learn more from our mistakes than we do from actually winning in this game. So I hope you've enjoyed watching for this week. We were still positive on the week, about 400 and something dollars. I want to keep that going. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, please don't be afraid to ask. I am, as always, an open book, and I have a million questions for you. Welcome to True Telos Trading, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great day.